Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. We are here with a solo episode for the girlies. As you all know, I run a group that provides resources for women in tech. I am working on some new things behind the scenes, so bear with me, ladies. I'm not ducking y'all, I promise. I have a lot on my plate right now. Today's episode focuses on how not to get finessed in the freelance game. To the many women who are seeking to take the power of their skills into their own hands, let me really give you the game about how to protect yourself in the freelance economy. I have had a very significant mentor in my life. Shout out to Sasha for teaching me contract law. So I want to share the game just as someone shared it with me. This is years worth of learning, so let's really get into it. I'm giving y'all it for free, child. So anyway, let's hop into the podcast. If you are a freelancer or you are an aspiring entrepreneur, here are a few tips to ensure that you're getting paid your worth, that you're closing the right deals, and that you're taking care of yourself. Number 1, your contracts. You want your documents to be airtight. Even in the music industry, we hear people speaking about how they got screwed in a contract, right? Those are legally binding documents. Therefore, from my experience, you want to at least expose yourself to how to structure these documents. You want to know the law. You want to understand what constitutes a legally binding collaboration in your work. Your paperwork is just as pivotal as the paper you're making. Let me say that again. Your paperwork is just as pivotal as the paper you're making. The next thing that you need to focus on is your rates. There will be many people out there who do not want to pay you your worth. People will try to take advantage of you and get you to work for less. They will also try to haggle you. So my freelancers, I beg of you, find the time to map out how much you charge. Have a set rate because this is an asset for you. It makes you a very strong collaborator in the end. The next thing I recommend is having good negotiation skills. If you do business, you have to be able to negotiate. You cannot take no for an answer. You have to be someone who knows how to haggle back. Because once again, in my last tip, we talked about the fact that people will try to come at you and decide that you're not worth what you're asking for. Your job is to prove that you are. The next thing that I feel is really important for new freelancers is your portfolio. Do you have a portfolio? If not, you probably should. For those who do not know, I started out actually doing free services for people before I ever made any money from what I do now. I was willing to forego certain things to build my brand, to build my credibility, and to actually have something underneath my belt to be able to progress. I knew that this was important because a lot of my education happens to be pre-collegiate, and I'm honest about that. Therefore, it's important to at least have a strong background with work to support you as you navigate the freelance world. Whether you have a degree or not, a good portfolio will be the reason you make good money. The last thing that I want to touch on is relationships. The most important thing is to build foundational relationships. In the last podcast, we had people like Denasia from Meta who taught you guys that sometimes the relationship outweighs the money. There will be relationships that can get you in the door that money cannot. I encourage you to nurture and retain the connections that fuel your fire the most. Find ways to help them. In the end, they will truly act as a bridge in your career. I always say the media, the public, perception, even as a branding person, I say none of that is your bridge. It's about actually connecting with people in order to curate your career goals. So if you are seeking to become a freelancer, I'm rooting for you, babe. And I need you to know that you're worth it, that you can do it, and that there's an actual space for you in this arena. You're going to have to work and show your value in order to make it a success. But still, that does not mean that things are impossible. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys meet your goals. I'm looking forward to seeing you women step into the world of tech. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I appreciate you guys for tapping in with me. Go ahead and share this and catch our last episode with Denasia from Meta. We out this B.